staff, we've cut programs and services. And by the way, we're talking about next year's budget already. I think it was a good point about some of these other taxing bodies that meet in the dead of night, and you know, they don't televise their meetings. They don't have, you can't find out when or where they're meeting. They move around where they're meeting. I have offered in the past, I'll do it right here, any one of these taxing bodies that wants to meet in this chamber, utilize our services, can do so. We'll televise those meetings for them so the public knows what's going on. But they don't want to do that, but that's a different issue. But we've been talking about this, and the cuts that we've made, and programs that we've eliminated, and positions that have been eliminated. And in this current fiscal year, we're already over budget in some areas, not necessarily, not the entire budget, but in some program lines, in some division lines, we've had to spend more than what we had wanted to, as far as the ratio of the budget year goes. So, you know, when we're basically 60% through the budget year right now, maybe we've spent 75% of the budget in some lines. And so we're making adjustments now to cut back so that we don't exceed 100%. And that's going to affect some programs and services that we have right now. It's going to realign some people and change some priorities for us. But we have to do that because we're going to stay within our budget. But the property tax, which is the issue before us tonight, is certainly one that I've been an advocate for a dozen years against the property tax for city government purposes. It's something that Mr. Neal and Ms. McDaniel recall from my term as a city council member before being mayor that proposed. Very glad that we were able to abate the full property tax for people. I don't think anybody expected to get a thank you letter at the time, but we did expect the other taxing bodies to maybe take note of it. Unfortunately, they did, and it has raised theirs to offset what our reduction was, so that it was never seen as a savings on the tax bill, and that's very unfortunate. But the issue of what are we going to do, or what are we going to be, has been discussed. We've talked about it a lot, and we only have a few choices: raise revenues, decrease expenditures, and I don't know what the other would be, but maybe there's one out there. The issue before us right now has to do with these increasing expenditures, particularly with the pension funds. And you know, I've said up here, talked at length about this, that the changes in the pension funds are passed by the General Assembly, and we're required to make the payments. We have never defaulted on a payment to our pension funds. We pay what is actuarially assessed to us. Some communities don't, but we have always made those payments. And we don't begrudge the fact that employees will receive a pension, or the pensioners are currently receiving a pension. That's not the issue. It's that we can't keep giving more and more away while we have less and less to pay for it, which was the impetus behind our major initiative this spring and this fall to adopt pension reform within the General Assembly. On the agenda earlier tonight, item 5.16, we asked the governor to sign SB 3538, which is a Senate bill that the General Assembly passed, which will affect new hires for police and firefighters. Nobody currently, new hires. It's all prospective after January 1. And will allow us more flexibility in our current funding to be able to see a reduction. And so it's hopeful if the governor signs that, and we ask everybody to ask him to sign it. If he signs that, we may see a reduction in the increase that we'll have in future years. We know we will have increases, but we may see a reduction in that so that we won't have to come back here and double the payments again next year. That's where the problem has been. We have been talking about that for years. So we have done a good job of keeping our house in order, but we're maxed out, I suppose, because of these outside influences, not the least of which is the national economy, even though we do have a low unemployment rate right now, and relatively stable income with sales tax and other things. We just can't keep up with where it's going. If we cut, then we will have to eliminate positions at all levels. I told the department heads this a month ago. I don't think they enjoyed it very much. We would be doing without a couple of department heads. We would be doing without people in public works. We would be doing without people in public safety. We would be doing without people at all levels. There would be really no one that would be spared. And in fact, in some of the positions that we're hiring, we are reducing the salary of the people that we will be hiring to replace those people. In some cases, 30%. So somebody's retiring, they're making X. Somebody's going to be hired to replace them because we have to have that job. They're going to be making a lot less. I hope that those people can stay with us over the time and be able to, raise up through the ranks and like the original employees have. But that's a big change for us. So there's no area that is not being affected. And we'll be bringing the budget back to this council that will see reductions in every single department to be able to make the projections